Hello everyone, welcome to Damnwhatabadad. Um, so, real quick reminder, get to be quiet for a bit, see where it gets us, but for now, we're on the last chapter of this game, and we're starting the investigation. And, yeah, so, overall, we have a bit of place to check, so this might be split into 3 different groups. I'm checking if okay. But yeah, we're gonna be split into 3 different groups, or to possibly 2 or 3, because I know this one's gonna be like 30 minutes of just pure whatever. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot coming here. So yeah. Anyways, let us get started. I guess I'll start by taking another look at the Mukuris Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. Well, now we know. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Well, we proved that wrong. They'd also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Well, yeah. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So, I mentioned back in chapter 5 that you want to keep this in mind, that that the Mukuru Kusaba's had multiple wounds on her body. But, they're several days old, so depending on that, there's a possibility she came into the school without those marks. Anyways, but that's still possibilities, yeah. Once we find out who killed Mukuru Kusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is, so we should start the investigation to figure out who killed her. I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up now. The master's room, the battle lab, the door in the data center with the monster space. Oh, and the second floor of the dorm, so that should be open right now. After that, I'll double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started! Places to check. Yep. Starting with probably the biggie boy. These rooms. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, even though Kyoko is already checking them out, which means I have to do it. This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. Yeah, these doors are kind of like messed up and whatnot, like there's rubble all over the, like, debris. Shit. But this door isn't. Though it is pretty much. The bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even a bed, and it's not really a bed anymore. It's just garbage. Nice. Oh yeah, I want to know what happens when I say this. Open the door just a crack, glance inside, and immediately close it again. There doesn't even have a bathroom, just a big bed of rubble. This restroom, which McCall probably won't go in. The boys' bathroom. Nothing. Just like the other ones. This room next. We just got a giraffe out of a locker room. Whoa. What in the fuck? This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have had used these lockers. First off, we have the really messed up ones. We got these. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the second floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean, well, let's just give it a try. I took my handbook and ran it across the reader. And then, no luck. Merely the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Now watch how this is gonna be. What if I go with the locker? No blocked. It's covered here. After all, space. I need to use your handbook. So that's mean, well, just give it a try. I took my handbook. And then, no luck. Maybe only the locker's room isn't. No one else can open it. I wonder if I can open this locker. No, blocked. It's covered here instead. That's why you need to get the locker open. After all, it's very similar to the covers. You have to use your handbook. You have to do steps. That means you took my handbook. And then, no luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it. Another one. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a cover here inside the door. That must be how you get the locker open. Door, it's pretty. You have to use a handbook. Does that mean Let's just give it a try. Check out my email book. And boops. No luck. Maybe only the luckiest room can open it. Whenever comes this locker. Not locked. Discovery inside the door. So, it's very similar. You have to use your handbook. So that's me. Let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook. And then views. No lock. Maybe only the lock is opening. Whatever the was locked, now locked, discovery inside the door. So it's pretty similar to the quit. You have to use your handbook. So that's me. Let's just give it a try. Look at my handbook. And then bzz. No lock. Maybe only the lock is open it. And then bullshit. That won't matter. Alright. Now, let's head on up what this hallway is. And there's... I'm gonna go through here! Trips over and falls through the crack in the wall. Oh, this place looks pretty nice even for the crack in the wall. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko! Where'd you come from?
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh? A regret? Yeah, we're about to learn some stuff. Just some, like, Ryan and Risky and shit. Anyways. Let's talk to Kyoko! Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. Well then, let's check out this chair. A leather chair. I can't imagine a student using something like this. Must have been the headmaster's. Alright. The desk is home to a computer. Must have belonged to the headmaster. Nice. I found a nice coin in the computer! There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster. Oh, okay. Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the ultimate despair?
However,
there's not much though. Nothing we don't already know.
in other words,
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy, which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people, whose driving force comes from despair.
however,
And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on.
correct.
I see. That's a good outlook to have. Nice. And then this. Huh? There's a strange gap in the wall. Is that some kind of design mistake? Or a construction defect or something? Someone was obviously stupid. Or had too much to drink. There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A breeze? It's the outside!
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space? Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. Action! You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not even sure you can call it a trick. Whoever was here, they're pretty much stupid. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password, and the door should open up, right up.
However,
But I don't have a clue what that password might be. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right. That's not nearly enough to go on.
it's true.
I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think how much time I wasted on this... Jeez. So it's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what you meant by regret. I think we could assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. If Kyoko can't figure out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name?
What?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as her password, knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even could occur to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well,
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you need. Okay. Computer time. You know, I'm glad I felt up trying Kyoko's name, but that's not it. That might just hurt Kyoko even more.
Hey,
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I'm extremely worried about you. I just said, I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay, in that case, here goes nothing. I collect myself, then turn to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here and talk to myself like any other person. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in, beep, kern. I think it's gonna continue. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked!
why?
Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the room. She looked grim. Kyoko. More things on top of Negiri. Hey, Kyoko? I may as well not even have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. Alright then. Well, let's go for it. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay!
Makoto.
Be careful, Makoto. Why? You think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous, but surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway...
Just don't scream or anything, okay? She definitely checked the box after that. Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it! Revert back to chapter 3 chapter 4, I believe. When we heard about the headmaster and shit being in this school somewhere. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside, and I ignored Kyoko's advice. Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. This is a different line. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. Like that show on Netflix that went up to like 8 seasons last time I remember. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
I see.
Just as I thought. What? Yeah, what's up? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there are bones in there. Human bones!
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body.
That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box.
My father.
Huh? What about him?
Correct.
We found in the box those bones. That body, that's my father. Or at least what's left of him.
Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on, how can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. I mean, look into the possibilities.
So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned this all out. According to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. Seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in this school right now.
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I already told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only possible people to take a single step in Host Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
In other words...
that most likely my father was in the school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway.
As Kyoko explained in her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. I read her due to her free time event. She said it was just as he thought, so she knew it was a possibility, but I had to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong. which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties, but was that all there was to it?
I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do.
Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder.
Hidden and present. That's what to true philosophy section. Yeah, there's more to what is to the means. So first, it's in here.
The headmaster's desk. It's probably an insignificant clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without permission.
Hey,
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like.
Are you sure?
because
Never let anything get in the way of this investigation. I don't.
Okay then, if you don't mind.
Man, if only the actual police force was open to that.
Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer, huh? Is this? It's an e-handbook, right? It has a label on it that says "In case of emergency." I found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
in other words,
A handbook with no limitations, given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what it is.
I think you're probably
it
right.
would seem
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it?
But Kyoko.
I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here.
Then I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay?
Mrs. E. Hamburg. Alright, in here.
This filing cabinet seems like the kind of place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. But I don't think Kyoko would like some stranger like me touching her dad's stuff, even though we practically know each other a bit.
hey,
It's fine. Check whatever you want.
Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top, but all I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
well,
It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
now,
If he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he can't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate.
Oh boy, and awaiting what we have right here.
Huh? This picture.
Yup.
It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko!
And yeah.
why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet to now find something like this.
Alright, so I want to point out something. In the very beginning of the game, that person who was in the rocket ship that was sent up was her father, which is right there in the picture.
To now find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now?
Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself, to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again, and this time he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father?
Pretty sure there has been.
Kyoko!
Photo of Kyoko and the headmaster.
Hey,
Listen, Makoto,
Huh?
can I ask you a favor?
Action! A favor? What is it?
so
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it only inconveniences you that much more, but
hey,
could you leave
Huh?
correct.
just for a little while? I'd just like to be alone for a bit.
Kyoko!
Don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
Just a second.
I need to get my emotions in order.
You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you were only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But...
Maybe that picture motivate him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory, and this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through.
I
That problem can't be solved so easily.
you're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself.
Okay, I understand. Then I'll see you later, alligator.
Man. Yeah, I know what to title this episode.
Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead.
The only the Hostpeak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hostpeak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he is somewhere in the school right now.
But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity is...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants. All of them standing, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Havoc since the killing game began are those 16 students.
15 of us met in the main hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only six of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. So many flashbacks. Even Mukuro. Even she is undeniably dead. So the only ones still left alive are... me. It can't be me. Hiro. Tiny Hands. Aoi. And Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be! I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be.
Oh, knowing the main protagonist, we might be able to prove that right, because it's a possibility. Just everyone wants to believe the possibility that one of us is it, but yet, you know, they might be wrong, we might be wrong, they might be right, or we might be right. Anyways, so all these lockers kind of like have something, but there are 2 important ones.
I wonder if we can do no luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open, which means none of us can do it. Wait, but what about this emergency handbook that I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. I took the emergency handbook and ran it across the card reader. Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we got inside. This locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life.
And, oh boy. Well, let's just check it out.
This is a crystal ball. Huh? A crystal ball. No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. Is this a deck of playing cards? No, they're tarot cards. But wait. Aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuffed this didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. What? There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written, Yasuhiro Hagakure, or Hagakure. That sounds bad. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes, which would mean he attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to the school at the same time as the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So, what is this notebook?
Locker notebook. Well, oh, I gotta press R. Well, there's even more shocking compared with these next ones.
Looks like the lock open. Let's see what we've got inside. This thing is practically empty.
Well, let's check it out.
There's just one thing, some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure who it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I better take a look. It looks like a girl's handwriting. There's a purple background. It kind of seems... Oh, wait a minute. And all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have really been meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written in there, words I've heard before.
Alright, if you have not figured out what it is, I'm gonna pull it out right now.
There's a plan to turn Host Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said.
The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call it our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world, to serve it as the foundation for a new era. This is our only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan.
So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father.
I definitely can. And it's none of mine.
This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was. I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little.
I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just happens to be the headmaster and my father.
What does this all mean? What does it all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of this notebook. I must have been looking for something that would have proved me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question mark spinning around through my head just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled.
Despair walks among us. There's a second despair.
What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense?
Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. Not good enough? Okay. Yep.
The more I see, the less sense it makes. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are the things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe in everyone.
And have to find who's really behind this. Alright, and with that, that is it for the second dorms. Yes, I'm walking through here. Now, alright, so I'm gonna go this by like next line, because like this is the biggie boy, since this is the biggie boy, but for more things to add on, we're gonna go to the fifth one, so that we can go to the garden, and then the dojo, and then we'll leave off the next two for their own.
Huh? It's gone. Miko's body. It's not here?
Well, it's not there. Anyways, it's not the only.
Maybe the body's inside the toolshed. Better check, just to be sure. I didn't find anything even close to a dead body. But if it's not in here either, then it must be... I have no idea where. But corpses are the only thing I need to check in here. This is one other thing. That tarp. A tarp played a key role in another case, so I better look into it.
Two, actually.
The killer used the tarp to keep the sprinklers from getting the body wet, which means the killer must have left some clue behind here. Huh? I didn't notice this before, but there's a small stamp on one corner of the tarp.
You know they did this on purpose, that they didn't make our character suspect this. Because if this was the case, then something would have been going on.
It says Biolab? Then this originally came from the Biolab?
TARP has been added to the triplet section of your handbook. Alright, that's it for now. Now we're gonna check that dojo and end it off there.
That's all I really need to check here. But where could her body have gone? We're start looking for it.
There's not much to do here, but we gotta talk to Kyoko.
Oh, Tiny Hands, so this is where you were.
What do you want?
What's so disgusting? You want me to hear your side?
No, that's not it at all. I just thought maybe you'd found a clue.
Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything. Not one single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, it would have had something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give me back. Give me back my precious time.
Calm down, Tiny Hands.
What's your
Don't
problem?
tell me to calm down. I have an idea what I'm going to do right now. When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless. Could go for nothing.
Nobody's gonna say that.
Master will.
I'm not so sure I can disagree with that.
I don't want that. The sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me?
Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm gonna get going.
Yeah, alright. Alright, and with that, we're gonna continue on next time on Danganronpa, where we head off to the next two rooms, and then continue on with the investigation. Thank y'all so much for coming by. Peace, peeps.